Hey everybody, it's Casual Boops coming at you with another video, and today we're doing Advent Calendar Day 20, and for Day 20 it is the Object 703 version 2, the double barrel premium tank that was all the rage some time ago, for 10,600 gold. Do I think the tank is good? People think it's good, I guess. I don't really care for the thing, but like, it's not bad. I just, whatever. Do I think you should buy this tank? Honestly, I guess. Probably yes. I don't know. Like, I just don't like the double barrel tanks because I find myself wishing I was like, there's nothing that this thing does that a Skoda T56 can't do better. And the double shot thing sounds epic and is hilarious to look at, but it's just like a meme most of the time because you take such a hit with the DPM afterwards. But it's not a trash. It's not a bad tank. It's just, I'm just not that, me personally, I'm not that crazy about it. But I know a lot of you have been have been looking forward to this, so hooray, good for you guys. I hope that you are happy for once, finally, from the Advent Calendar. They finally put one out here that you guys want. Okay, so I'll just give a really quick overview of the stats. It's got a 122 millimeter gun. It's for 390, but it has two barrels somehow because physics. And it's APCR rounds on standard and 221 standard pen, which is fine. It's got a premium heat pen for heat round for 270. The DPM is a little bit on the lower side again, but that's not that big a deal. You got to charge up time to hold. It's like, oh gosh, I'll be honest with you, the double barrel tanks are a little bit like, if you shoot the one, it's almost like a cyclical, it's almost like an auto reloader. It behaves almost exactly like an auto reloader, but you can do a charge up time where it charges up both barrels and you shoot them both at the same time after a short time of waiting. And I believe for this one, that wait time is 3 seconds. I think, I'm pretty sure. God, man. But the aiming time is potato. I'm sorry, the dispersion is potato, but the other dispersion factors are actually surprisingly surprisingly excellent. Like, it's a little bit weird because the gun like is fully aimed. It's awful potato. But the turret traverse dispersion is like god tier amazing. Like, you turning the turret around doesn't balloon the turret the reticle hardly at all. And I think they did that on purpose, so that way when you're like trying to hit that shot, like you're trying to do the double shot and hit somebody, you can like move a little bit and not make the reticle bloom too much. So the soft stats are actually surprisingly excellent, to be quite honest with you. The shell velocity standard rounds is okay. Actually, the standard rounds, it's over 1100, so that's good. It's not slow, but it's also not very fast. Top speed of 38 is okay. You can put, when this thing was first introduced, Equipment 2.0 was out, but field mods were not. So that kind of does change things a little bit. 5 degrees of gun depression, like it's we'll get to it. Like that does kind of, you notice that it's 5 definitely holds you back. You're not meant to be hold down in this, like working ridge lines. This doesn't do that. So if you like that, Carnarvon Action 10 is probably the thing for you. 350 meters of view range is god awful. You won't be spotting anything, but again, you're meant to be in somebody's face. This is a Russian heavy tank. Just press W and you'll probably do it just fine. Crew layout is fine. No complaints. The radio man and the commander, I think is that the same as IS-7? No, it does not match the IS-7. That's annoying. What about the IS-4? Yes, but the IS-4 only has a 4-man crew. So the crew layout, in retrospect, is a little bit weird because the radio man being on the commander means that you need the crew from the IS-4 plus an extra loader from something else, and that'll get you the fully kitted out crew. But anyways, so what I would do for this tank, how I would set this up is, of course, all-terrain suspension always, minus for the aiming, circle size always. I personally, view range, you just need it, especially with it being as bad as it is. I'm a tryhard, and I run food, and I'm also personally picking firepower slot, and I'm going to do, here we go, I'm going to blow your guys' minds. Got one of these, the improved aiming and the improved slot. I'll probably do vents, and then you can't mount a rammer because it's basically an auto reloader, and most people are going to say V-stab, but at the same time the gun stats are already really, really good. So I don't know what the right answer is here, but I feel like V-Stab is kind of a waste, to be quite honest with you. So, interesting. I'm in a bit of a quandary with this. Perhaps, if you have really good setup for equipment, you could potentially this one's a little bit debatable. You know, this is probably the most vanilla. I suppose you could do optics, but then of course you're still not getting very good view range in this thing. But this is probably where I would go for most people, to be honest. You could also do something like this, where it's of course the turbo on the improved slot for that, and then you've got the improved aiming like this. That's probably really good. I might actually even like playing the thing if I played it like this. Because my biggest complaint was that I can't hit anything. I don't. It's just a potato launcher. So yeah, I don't really care for it, but yeah, that's the tank. Armor model's pretty solid. The turret's pretty good. I think that's probably why people like it. The turret is fairly solid. It's got these teeny tiny little cupolas. They're like 3 pixels high, but they technically exist. And otherwise, the armor is fairly good. And against this is against its own gun, right? So you get this tiny little spot. So against same tier targets, this is what you're seeing on flat ground. It's this, which is pretty intimidating, right? And you don't even need to be using gun depression, but if you somehow are, then everything gets awesome. But you know, you're not always fighting tier 8s in your tier 8 tank. So how does it compare to like a tier 10? You're going to be facing tier 10s in this thing. So like, what does an IS-7 do to this? Oh, well, you know, a lot less good. The hull is a lot less good. The turret is still fairly solid, but as soon as they tap 2, your cheeks become weak. But again, I'll be honest with you, the armor is pretty okay. So there's not really anything about the tank to not really like, with the exception of the awkwardness of the double-barreledness, and that's just going to be kind of a weird thing that you'll need to get used to if you have this tank. And the potato final accuracy, which you can fix. So yeah, it's a solid tank. If you like the double barrel tanks, like I said, I know a lot of you have been looking forward to this tank, so hooray. I hate double barrel tanks in all of them. Hate them all. So more power to you guys. And thanks for coming along. We'll see you tomorrow, guys. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, bell thing, all of that. So all right.